Welcome back from the pause. Switch a little bit gear. Harvia, welcome to you, Tapio and Arya, a sauna company, and I will listen very carefully in because I'm one of the 1% Danish person who actually has a sauna and actually uses it for other than storage. So, but I will hand the call over to you, Tapio.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Thank you. My name is Tapio Pajuharju. I'm the CEO of Harvia Group, and almost next to me we have Ari Vesterinen, our CFO.
Hi.
I think today we'll try to entertain and tell more about the sauna, and exactly like Michael, please use the sauna. That's the way it's supposed to do. and let's get going. And by the way, best regards from the snowy Finland. We got almost half a meter snow downtown Helsinki, so we are surviving. We are surviving. Good. So Harvia has been a rather traditional family company, founded by an individual who became a smith by profession after the war, and he started making wood-burning heaters for the family and friends, and then for the middle part of Finland, and at the end of the day, for the whole of Finland. Then he got 4 children, 3 brothers and 1 sister, and the children were able to convince the father that, hey, by the way, wood-burning heaters maybe not a global business. Why don't we do electric heaters, and why don't we start doing saunas as well? And that's what the second generation started doing rather successfully, rather globally already on that time. And then I think the journey continued, and I saw that your previous presenter was Capman, and the family was looking for a partner, how to make the company even more international, how to grow, and how to potentially list the company. And that happened in 2014 when Ari joined the company. I also joined the company in 2014 when Capman acquired the majority. Family kept a large share on that one. And then we did a bit of a rewriting of the plans, rewriting of the strategy, and decided not to be a heater company only, but to be a complete one-stop shop for the sauna and spa globally. And then we also started doing minor acquisitions. We acquired an Estonian company for the steam saunas, acquired Sentiotec to become a European company. Then we acquired one of our very old customers in the US by the name of Almost Heaven Sauna. We started making saunas on our own in the US. And then we are joking that Harvia is the Volkswagen and the Audi of the sauna industry. We were missing the luxury and we were missing the trucks. So then we acquired EOS, and that's in a way the Porsche and Bentley of the sauna industry. And they also have the heavy-duty trucks, MAN and Scania, for the professional spas and big swimming halls and big hotels. And then during the journey, we've been activating Backyard Paradise. Almost Heaven Sauna in the US is a good example of a Backyard Paradise. We acquired Kirami, a Scandinavian still water hot tub company in the summer of 21. And then, believe it or not, sustainable, safe heater stones is a very rare resource. So we acquired Sauna Eurox. So now we are producing our own sauna stones, and we are also producing sauna stones to most of our competitors in that respect. So that's the journey from a heater company into a sauna and spa company. And I will take you to the healing with heat in a second. This is a really boring slide, but I think this is a very, very important slide for the strategy and also for the plans to go forward. Overall, Harvia was in the heater business, and heater business was 400 million, maybe 450 million at the time of having the partner, and already big share on that one. And then we realized that, okay, sauna heater is roughly 10% of the value of the complete sauna. And we have the capability of selling the other 90% as well. And that's what we've been now trying to do. We've been upselling, cross-selling, and are making the full sauna sales. Everyone thinks sauna is a Finnish innovation. Yes, it is. But of the global sauna market, 10% or slightly less in Finland. The rest is elsewhere. And the Finnish sauna market, by number, volume is not growing. By value, is growing. But the sauna penetration is going up in all of the other markets. And then comes the beauty. And this is something which helps us to do business rain or shine. of the heater business, roughly 80% is replacing something which is already existing, maybe not functioning, not looking as nice as it should be, or is of the wrong size or wrong design. So that's the heater business, almost 80% replacement. And at the time of listing the company, I think there were 16 million saunas on the globe. Today there are 18 million saunas on the globe. So the replacement basis is growing, and at the same time the sauna is growing. The life cycle of a sauna room is roughly, say, 20 years if you do good maintenance, good care in a residential use. And during that lifetime, you will exchange the heater 2 to 3 times, depending on the frequency of the use. And if you run a professional sauna, maybe the life cycle is 7 to 10 years. And during that time, you also exchange the heater maybe 3 to 4 times. So that's in the way the replacement business, which is actually quite good, especially when the markets are a bit tougher. So then at the end of the day, we are not just a heater company, not a sauna company. What do we actually do, and what is the final product for the customers and consumers is we are healing with heat, and we are providing a long and good life. And I think that's something most of the people in Finland who are, I would say, born in the sauna have not realized. But when you go to US and you go to any of the new sauna markets, this is on the topics. If you open social media, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, this is what people are talking about, and I will share a bit more news on this one. I think the most important thing is the health and strength of your heart, and 3 times a week, 15 minutes ago, so your heart is gaining strength, and the veins are gaining elasticity. And if you will be a middle-aged man, your life expectancy will go up by 3 to 7 years. It doesn't mean that your muscles are getting stronger, but your heart is getting stronger and your veins are getting more elastic. And that's why your blood pressure will go down and you will live longer. And then as a bonus, if like quite many of us have in the DNA some of the memory diseases, you cannot escape, but you can postpone the time before it hits you. And then for the female audience, you have weight control, you have skin, better skin, you sleep better, and you can do detoxing and all of other things. But I think the heart condition is the one which you can find on the medical journal, and you have a lot of medical research on that. And then the latest news is that if you combine sauna bathing with physical exercise, as a bonus, you can lower your blood cholesterol, and it will, for most of the people, it's a midterm. For some of the people, it's a long-term lowering. So it's a very good, in a way, cholesterol medicine also for the body in that respect. Then, so what we are doing, we are not only selling saunas. It's very important that we communicate and people have an opportunity to experience what sauna is. And that's why it's very important that globally you have 5-star hotels, you have premium fitness clubs, you have beautiful spas where people can experience how does it feel to have a sauna. And when they have an opportunity to do a major renovation in their primary residence, or they are building a dream summer home or second home, then they may build a traditional sauna, infrared sauna, or a steam sauna. So that's what we are giving inspiration for people. And then today, Harvia is rather strong in the traditional sauna, but going forward, we would like to be the industry leader in all 3 different sauna types, and working both with the professional people in the industry as well as direct with the consumers. And then our knowledge and insight in all of the 3 different saunas, as well as on the health benefits, is the best on the industry. Numbers, I think you are all very well educated on the numbers, and I think during the pandemic we got a bit of a tailwind on the residential market, especially in the north of the Alpine region. On the other hand, the professional markets globally were soft. Some of them were even on a lockdown, and I think we have lost a bit of the volume. On the other hand, with even the lower volume and maybe lower consumer confidence, we've been tuning the company so that we can basically rain or shine deliver 20% or above EBIT in that respect. Now when we've been tuning down also our capex projects, our cash conversion is extremely good and has been good. So we are returning very normal cash conversion closer to 80 or 100% in that respect. Our strategy is dead simple. So we have three things we do. One is increasing the value of the average purchase. So we still love to sell the heaters, but we love to sell the complete saunas even more. And if we can sell not only the traditional sauna, but the steam saunas, infrared saunas, and then all of the componentry needed to that, then we've been highly successful. On our domestic marketplace in Scandinavia, I think we still see good potential to grow in Norway, partially in Sweden and Denmark. Believe it or not, there's a sauna boom in Denmark, and that's going to continue going forward. Central Europe, Germanic area is currently a bit, I think, impacted by the energy, by the Russian war, and a bit of inflation. Rest of the Europe is solid, and I think we will go back on growth when there is some kind of a solution for the Russia-Ukraine situation. Also in the Central Europe, rest of the world, sauna penetration is still very low, and it keeps on going up. And I think Ari is very good on the sauna penetration. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But in Finland, you have 2.6 million saunas, so that's roughly 2 people per one sauna. In Germany, it's more than 30 people per one sauna. In US, it's 300 people per one sauna. And if you go to the Asian countries, you can just add 1 or 2 zeros on that one. So we are still on the early stages of the sauna penetration in that respect. New markets are opening on a yearly basis. New markets are small to start with. It usually starts with the premium end of the hotels, hospitality industry, premium fitness clubs, golf clubs, tennis clubs, but then it's cascading down to the normal people and wealthy people in general. And then what we do both on our operations, and by the way, we are very traditional. We basically develop and manufacture everything we sell, with the exception of some of the electronics. So then productivity on the actual manufacturing, as well as productivity on the commercial process, is something we are honing and improving on a continuous basis. Even though we are from Finland, the company is truly global, and we have operations outside of Finland. We've been operating in China already for 20 years. We have operation in Germany, close to Frankfurt. We've been operating and making saunas in the US for some time. European mid-price point and entry saunas we do in Romania, and steam rooms we do in the Baltic states. So we have a good footprint on the manufacturing side, as well as on the commercial platform and distribution in that respect. Revenues by market, Finland still has been traditionally the largest home market. USA, Central Europe, and rest of the world is challenging Finland in that respect. So we've been growing. We've been starting as a heater business. We are still rather heater driven, but I think we've been doing very good progress on the complete sauna rooms and on the control units and on the value added accessories on that respect. And when we have this picture at the site, I think it's good to mention that on the heaters and sauna equipment, Harvia has been traditionally been able to command a very reasonable margins. On the sauna business, it's clearly more difficult to command 25 or above contribution EBIT margin on the complete sauna rooms. In the heater business, the competition and dynamics is so that we are one of the 3 globally. Usually we are number 1 or number 2. And in the sauna business, like take in Germany, take one of the regional cities, Munich. In Munich, most likely you will find 20, maybe even 25 sauna makers. After clubs, we are either the number 2 or 3 on that one, but you have a lot of competition, and that's why it's a bit more complicated to command 20 plus EBIT margin on the sauna rooms in that respect. During the pandemic, the seasonality of the sauna business was not the way it used to be, and we were always pushing ahead quite a high order stock. Traditionally, I think, Ari, you've been in the sauna business for the past 20 years.
25, actually.
25, so time flies when you have fun. and Q1 and Q4 traditionally have been the strongest in the sauna business. when sauna business has been globalizing, I think it's been diluting a bit about the peaks. But I think that's the way we see it. There's still some seasonality, Q1 and Q4 being the strongest, and then you have two bit softer quarters in between, both on the top line as well as on the profitability. On our journey, I think Harvia is rather strong and good on the traditional sauna and on traditional sauna heaters. We are maybe still missing the luxury position of the sauna, so we could step up and challenge gloves on the project work. In the steam rooms, we are making steam generators, but for the complete sauna rooms, we are not the name in the town, and we are not the game in town as of yet. And on infrared business, even though we've been doubling our infrared business in the past 12 months, our 2 million is nowhere in the Champions League on the infrared. US alone, when you calculate the top 5 players in the US, you are exceeding 200 million in the US market alone. So I think that's an area on top of the organic growth. We are looking for opportunities in the luxury saunas, in the steam generators, steam rooms, and especially in the infrared. And I think we've been executing a couple of good M&A activities, and Ari's middle name is actually M&A, so I think we are working on that one, and we'll get something in the pipeline. But what we want to do is it's a perfect fit for the Harvia portfolio, and then the valuation has to be beneficial for the shareholders of Harvia. So we don't put in crazy valuations for the newcomers into the group either. Then I think even though the market has been challenged, behind the scenes we've been doing a lot of activities and taking the sauna experience to a next level, both in terms of the healing with the heat and the health benefits, digitalization, safe experience, multi-sensorial experience, and all of that. And as you can see on the picture, in quite many of the boxes, you will see infrared and steam. So we have our own organic game, but in order to speed up the development, we remain open and active on the M&A front as well. US, I think it's worth mentioning. US is in many categories a mature, if not even saturated market. In sauna, it's not. Many people think it's for the northern hemisphere, maybe northeast, Great Lakes. It's not. When we acquired Almost Heaven Saunas, and we know we are dropshipping all the equipment and the kits to the end consumers, 70% of the Almost Heaven Sauna went into California. Today we have more of a nationwide, quite balanced split on the sauna business. And then when we are supplying heaters and sauna equipment to our sauna builders and the wholesalers, they tend to be in all of the I would say from North California to south in Texas to Florida to the capital region to the Midwest and to the Northeast. So it's a really nationwide on that respect. And one cannot say where there is the fastest growth. It seems to be nationwide in the US.
I think the time is running out. If you should also catch some questions. I love to hear that I'm actually healthy. So, but should we take some questions?
You do the right thing. So we'll jump on the questions. And before we jump on the questions, I will just maybe
the financial targets. That's perfect. Yeah.
Guidance that the market is growing slightly less than 5%. Our ambition is to gain share and be ahead of that. Profitability, rain or shine, ahead of 20%. And if there are really tough quarters, maybe we are slightly shy in one quarter, but overall, I think we've been tuning the company on that respect. And then on the leverage, so that we have capacity to be active on the M&A, we play safe on the leverage. And today we are at the entry of this spectrum. And now it's time for questions.
Perfect. There's a question here. You touched upon it, the increasing energy prices. Is it possible for you to move? I must admit, I'm not a Finnish person, so I have the infrared sauna, right? So is that a way for you to go or maybe do more energy efficient saunas and try and put that as a selling point here in the energy crisis time?
Yeah. For the new sauna building, I think it's very important that you have a Wi-Fi control, so you put it on only when you need it, and you put it off actually before you end the experience. Then you can save energy. And for the professional use, if it's integrated to the house automation and you are on the area where you need to heat the properties, basically you only lose 50 to 20% of the heat when you recycle the heat. And then the cost of the sauna, I think that's also one. Even if you pay like yesterday was very expensive day in Finland because snowstorm and all of that. We paid I think 70 cents per kilowatt. If you have a family sauna, then you pay as much as almost 5 to 6 euros for the full family experience. So if you go to the pub downstairs, you buy a beer. I think you pay maybe 8 or 10, and it's only for you. So it's relatively expensive. So
I know, but maybe there was a business opportunity. Maybe someone would start actually, exchanging old systems, maybe in the professional segment more. That they can really run a business case on it.
And for the professional, we recommend people to have always Wi-Fi, so you can put it on only when you have people. And if you can add a motion sensor, then you can really monitor that people are using it. If you run a hotel, why should you put it on at 7 o'clock if people are coming at 11? So put it on when people are coming, and if you have motion sensor, it can boost it up. And when people go away, it can go to sleeping mode. So that's how you can monitor. Very few people, very few companies have these. So for us, this is an incremental business opportunity going forward in that. And insulation plays a big role. If you are willing to invest on the insulation, you can save a lot of in the energy.
And then there's a question here: the private buyer, is that in the typical one in the luxury segment, in that income group, or are normal people buying this? Because I guess the luxury segment has escaped somehow, this crisis by the consumer. How are you feeling about going into 23 and onwards? What are your segment? What segment are buying your saunas?
In Finland, it's for everyone, and it's the mailman and it's the top CEO who has the sauna. But when you go to a new market, it's mainly the people who have above mid-income level or maybe even affluent people. So for them, it's not so important. And what we see on the luxury area looks rather strong. The professional also looks very strong. The only area where we see that the energy has paid a price is Germany area. That region, people are really watching on the energy, and maybe the low income level people have postponed the decision making. We also monitor the traffic on the webpage. Traffic is very good. People are interested about the sauna, but to make the decision, I think people play safe, especially at the entry income level in that respect.
I love to hear more. I'm a sauna guy with Tapio 1 and 4, but unfortunately our time has run out, and we will go on a short break and continue with Vakko Kaupa later on. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you. Enjoy the sauna. Take care. Bye.